Afternoon. So today we're going to talk about the Kronshtadt Tier 9 cruiser, Russian cruiser that you can get for 750,000 free XP. Is it worth it? Is it worth your time? Should you get it? In my opinion, any ship that is a premium that you could get for hard-earned free XP, such as the Musashi, Missouri, or this, are going to be worth it. Nelson is another one. Why? Well, it's a premium, and you don't have to spend any money. You could grind using flags and all your paint jobs and such like that, and get a Tier 9 premium. It also depends a lot on your gameplay. So to me, the Kronshtadt is worth it. It is worth every penny. Once you learn how to play it, she is not as tanky as everyone thinks she is, okay? If you're at any angle except for this one right here, you're going to take a lot of damage. And even at this angle, if a battleship driver is any good, they'll learn to drop shells right about this area right here, and you're going to chunk good amounts of damage, if not get citadels on you. So, yes, she is tanky. I would say I average probably 2 million tanked damage in her pretty regularly. Her guns, let's look at her guns, okay? She's got 3 trip mount 305s with an average damage output with HE of about 13. I'll say 1350, because lately for some reason I've been getting a lot of HE hits for about 600, 900. Average hits though about 1386 is what it's supposed to be. Your penetrating hits max 4200. Okay, so I have her set up with range in mind, gun range. It puts her guns out to 21 kilometers. With the spotter, I think you get 23. Why this is important is she is not tanky. She's great at starting fires, so that's what I try to do. Get as many fires as you can, chunk damage with HE. If you're in with about 12 to 10 kilometers fire AP, it's going to do the standard AP thing that happens right now. You're either going to bounce or you're going to overpen, and on occasion you'll get a citadel, right? I'd like to not sound so obvious, but certain ships I can tell you'll get citadels all day long, or you'll get overpens all day long. Like if you drive in a Missouri, you're within 10, you fire at a broad cruiser, you're going to get overpens, right? But if you're in a Richelieu and you're at 10 and you fire AP, you're probably going to citadel the crap out of them. So this ship, unfortunately, is in that realm. I will tell you, I have had Des Moines and Buffaloes broadside to me at 15 kilometers, fired AP at their belt armor, and straight up overpenned. And then the next salvo, same exact spot, bounced. So the consistency right now with AP is not the greatest. I don't think it's just this ship. I think it's the game right now. I think there's a mechanic that needs some work. So AA defense and secondaries. Let's talk about that. You don't have any, okay? Yeah, there's some numbers here. Great, cool. You don't have any. Don't expect to get anything out of the AA guns. Don't expect to get anything out of the secondaries. Don't do a secondary build with this ship. Do not do it. You're not going to get any benefit out of it at all. 11.9 second rudder shift concealment. You know I don't really care about that too much. It is nice to have a little bit, but 14.1 without a concealment build. I've got the premium captain here set up for turret rotation. Your high alert, reducing time of damage control, which is kind of important because I had a lot of fires actually, and fire prevention on this captain as well, along with your preventive maintenance boosted. As you can see, I've got kind of a fire setup, and I put adrenaline rush on here just because an extra 2 points to put on the captain. Didn't really know where to put it. I've let myself get low health, and it does help a little bit, but don't really notice it too awful much, and maybe it's just because I'm playing. So this is a pretty standard setup for me. IFHE, I've thought about it. I've been thinking about putting IFHE on it and just playing it like a British battleship, firing only HE. Haven't done it yet. I might give that a shot, and I'll get back to you guys on it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really need to talk about this ship in terms of it being in the port. Not really. Oh, health pool. You have 71,000 hit points to work with here. 71,000 at tier 9, okay? So if we look at let's just look at the other tier 9 cruisers. So let's take a look at Donskoy, case in point. You start out with 40,000 hit points. If you get to the sea hull, you get 43,000 hit points. Okay, it's 30,000 less than the Donskoy. Let's look at the Germans. The Rune. Again, with the B hull, you have 49,000. That's still almost 30,000 more. So you pretty much have 30,000 more hit points than every single cruiser at tier 9. Okay, so just something to think about. The Buffalo with the B hull again, 47,800. So, but keep in mind the Buffalo's got some stout armor, man, compared to Kronshtadt. I don't care what anyone says. If you look at the stats, Kronshtadt supposedly has more armor. Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know that we necessarily go off of the stats when it comes to how this game works, because quite frankly, I've seen some craziness. Like, case in point, me dueling it out with a Buffalo. Buffalo hits me for with one HE shell, right about midship, around this area. It does 1,800 damage. Okay, the Buffalo. So what did Buffalo have? Buffalo has 203s, right? Is that correct? Double check real fast here. 203s, right? Lower HE damage, higher AP damage than what I have, right? Let's look at the Kronstadts. 305 millimeter guns. Okay, actually, so I do have more AP damage, but I have higher HE damage, but I do less damage. I'll tell you right now. If I hit a Buffalo with one of these shells, I'll do about 1386, and like I said, I've had Buffalo hit me and do 15 to 1800 with HE shells, okay, on this ship. Same range and everything, and I think that's something that Wargaming kind of needs to look at. But you do have 30,000 more hit points to work with, so I guess that's the trade that you have going on, I suppose. So anyway, let's not get any further. Oh, one thing I did want to mention. I have this. Let me find a ship that I can run it on. This upgrade, Spotting Aircraft Mod 1, it increases the time your spotting aircraft is in the air by 30%, can be used on Tier 6 to 10 battleships and cruisers. If you look at the Kronshtadt right now, not available. So I put a trouble ticket in on this, and Wargaming says that they're going to fix that in the next update. I'm going to recommend putting that on this ship because, in my opinion, it's needed. Engaging at range with this ship helps a lot. You got 5 spotter aircraft, for crying out loud. So your action time's 100 seconds. That'll give you 130 seconds, over 2 minutes, basically, of time with spotting aircraft up. That's huge for this ship, especially if you're setting fire to battleships. So just something to think about there. Anyway, so let's go to gameplay here. Hopefully I don't jack this up too much for you guys. This thing doesn't do too good hunting down destroyers. It's a great ship for spotting destroyers because the radar you have goes out to 11.7 kilometers, but it only lasts for 20-ish seconds. So you need to be able to have people around you that are ready to exploit your radar. Your guns, you're going to get one salvo off pretty much, and that's it with the radar running, okay? 18-second reload on those guns, by the way. It's not bad for 12-inch guns. So this is not a bad setup. It's kind of an at-tier battle, right? And that very rarely seems to happen nowadays. 3 destroyers, bunch of cruisers, a couple of their Kronstadts. So one thing that's really good about this ship I've found is its tankiness works well with the Missouri. You'll see if you see gameplay with me, I'm run with somebody in our clan called Kudai, and he's really good with the Missouri, and me and him run with Missouri with this Kronshtadt is actually amazing. So I'm going to come right and probably go to A, just because I prefer to have the white wall against me where I can fire this way. If I go B, I'm going to be sandwiched on both sides. Going this way, I don't have enough support. There's not enough ships over here, so I'm going to head around toward A where I can try to light some stuff with the radar, try to use my tank a little bit here. Don't be afraid too much to go broad when you're at the beginning of a match with this ship. At range, very rarely have I ever taken hits that were significant. It's usually when you're about 15 kilometers or so from the enemy and you're broad that you'll learn to regret it. So. As stated, this thing doesn't have sufficient AA. I'll tell you, going up against a tier 8 carrier, I did nothing to strike aircraft coming in on me. One thing that's a serious downfall to this ship is AP bombs, okay? AP bombs are quite significantly negative to this ship. I had an Enterprise, I think it was, come after me, and two or three bombs of the flight hit me, and I was down 3/4 of my health. So this thing obviously has really bad deck armor. It's not worth your time.
Enemy destroyer detected. Enemy battleship detected.
Muzzle velocity on these guns is pretty good. 900, I believe, for HE, 920 for AP.
Enemy cruiser detected.
So there you go. There's 2 penetrating hits with HE, so I did 2772, which would be 1386, doubled, right? So I'm going to get my radar. We took a 4,000 hit from something over there.
Enemy destroyer detected. Enemy cruiser sighted.
Killed that mountain.
Enemy destroyer detected.
Alright, radar's over. Again, slow or very short radar, right?
Enemy cruiser detected.
I think this key's screwed up. Assuming I can get a good penetrating hit, I can do a lot of damage to this guy. But I think I overestimated how fast he's going. Oh, maybe not.
Enemy battleship detected.
Nope. So I got this Leon and the Missouri moving up. Let's see what this AP can do on the Leon. Except he's turning in, so it's not going to be so fun. Yep. Overpen on the bow. Right.
Enemy cruiser sighted.
Our team has taken the lead.
I always hate that things switch to people turn right as you switch to HE or whatever. It's really annoying when they do that. So you see the close in, the dispersion is not actually that bad, but I had 3 penetrating hits and only did 1,700 damage, so that's definitely not right. Alright, so... There's a good hit, 7 grand. So that Leon should be out pretty much here shortly. Yep. Switching to HE for everything that's not broad to me. Bounced twice.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
So you see the dispersion is pretty bad. At times, I guess I shouldn't say the dispersion, it's the consistency that I have a problem with when it comes to this ship. It just, 1 minute you're going to get good shots, the next minute you're going to get some crazy, wild, crazy spots, right? So I'm going to try to move up because I need to show you guys some of the tankiness. I was hoping that this Kronshtadt would be dead so I could turn left, but... He's looking at that Colorado, so hopefully I can get him broadside to me. Again, 2 penetrating hits, only 2,700. Come on. Again, that consistency is just really upsetting, you know? Because I'm having a lot of shots that should be wrecking that guy, and they just aren't. Okay, so now we're going to push this Missouri. I'm going to push with this Missouri. Well, I guess I'll let him go ahead, because obviously he feels that he's more important, so he's going to cut me off. It's going to be a pretty low damage game and pretty low tanking game. I usually tank about 2 million in this thing, believe it or not. So there you go. There was some proof that the bow tankiness is not the best, right? He penned me through the bow. That wasn't quite a Citadel, I don't think. I think it was just a penetrating hit, but yeah, I lost well, about 15,000 there. So... Again, the consistency in the HE is just not there. I don't know what is going on. So Missouri died because those 3 back there just sat there, and now I'm probably going to die as a result of this. Let him burn, so I'm going to start some fires over here.
Problem solved, sir. Enemy cruiser detected.
One thing that really irks me about this game is, and everyone knows, is when people don't try to support each other, share hit points. That's one of my biggest things. I don't care that the score is 950 to 100. If people are getting primaried and you're not getting help, you're gonna lose ships, and that's when people that have the hit points need to learn to share the hit points, because you're not gaining anything by just sitting back, right? Especially if people die. So. So he's pretty damage saturated with HE, so I'm going to try to get some damage on him. And that's game. So not the best example for the armor and everything, but you did see I took some pretty good hits through the bow at close range. Just something to keep in mind with that is she's not as tanky as you might think she is if you've got backup. If you're pushing with someone, this is a good ship. I try to get people on battleships to move up, and I'll move up with them because this is an awesome ship. If you have that tank with you, you can, because you can take some damage, but you will feed the enemy experience and hit points very quickly if you're the only one moving up. So you have to be very careful, kind of cautious, pay attention to the mini map, and know when to push. The turret rotation on this ship is pretty good, but again, I had the Russian captain on, the premium captain on there. I got middle of the road here. Good game to that Missouri for moving up, and sorry that I didn't get a chance to help him enough. But so you see, with 61,000 damage dealt, I got 500,000 credits. Okay, so I average, with a good game, I'll average about 1,000,000 credits, believe it or not. 1,000,000 credits with a good game. Good game being over 100,000 damage, 115, so not a bad ship when you have the support you need. So this easily could have been a loss if their battleships had pushed up. I hope this was a fairly good explanation of the Kronshtadt. I'm sorry it took me a couple weeks to get the video done. Was having problems with the program continuously crashing. This is probably literally the 25th attempt to do a Kronshtadt video for you guys, and actually this was not the best. I had a lot of really good replays and stuff that I was working off in the past, but this is unfortunately what you get. So do all the things that the YouTubers love you doing. Subscribe, like, comment, please. Definitely comment. As always, tell me what you'd like to see, and I'll attempt to make a video. I'm going to be doing videos probably for the next couple weeks. I'm going to try to do one every other night if at all possible, and upload them. I'm not on the best internet, and I am on vacation, so please be patient with me, and I hope you all have a great day.